Hello students, good wishes to all of you. Today we will study chapter 9 of our textbook Special Education and Support Services. We are all familiar with the term education, but what is special education? It refers to educational provisions for children with special needs emerging due to physical, mental and emotional challenges. These children have special education needs. It includes specially designed instructions for such children in all settings. In class 11th, we had studied about the children with special needs. Let us revise it quickly. Children with special needs may have disabilities such as hearing, visual, or cognitive impairment. These children can have difficulty in walking, playing, interacting with others, or many other activities. So, in order to learn, work, and experience the world, not only they have to try harder, also people around them have to guide and encourage them for day to day activities. Now, let's study some salient features of special education. Special education needs are fulfilled using certain methodologies of special education. Special education is not segregated education of students with disabilities, but an approach that helps in their learning and allows them to participate in different activities. Not necessary that the children with special needs have to study in separate institution. Most of them can learn quite well in general classes of a school. Some children who have severe difficulties due to the nature of their disability may benefit greatly from being educated in a classrooms prepared exclusively for them, as a smaller number of students are grouped together. This helps the educator to interact with the students on one-to-one basis. The educators or teachers who provide special education are called special educators. When children or students with special education needs study in general classrooms with their peers, the arrangement is called inclusive education. The school makes suitable adjustments and modification in its curriculum, teaching methods, and physical setups to facilitate their education. For example, the questions related to location of different places in maps are replaced by other questions for blind children. Teacher uses multisensory teaching aids in the classrooms if there is any child with any other problem. If there is a child with locomotor problem, it is ensured that the classroom of such child is on the ground floor itself. The students with diverse needs are placed together in age appropriate classes or groups such that the students can optimally achieve their learning potential. Models of special or inclusive education. First of all, let's discuss about exclusive education. These schools impart education exclusively to children with disabilities. These schools offer services to children with specific disabilities, for example, Lady Noy Senior Secondary School for Deaf, Antkanya Vidyalaya, and many others. They require the services of special educators who are trained in working with children with those specific disabilities. That is, educator working with blind or partially blind children must know how to use the braille script, use of screen readers, color contrast schemes, etc. Inclusive education includes children with disabilities in regular classrooms. Children learn together, benefits all students, and is an education for all. School has facilities for children with special education needs. Students are placed in regular classes. Integrated education. Integrated education emphasizes placement of children with disability in mainstream school, the school system remains rigid. Very few children with disability are able to cope up with the demands of the school. Let us study about the different support services for special and inclusive education to be effective. Resource materials for students with special education needs and educators. It may include braille books, cassettes, screen readers, magnifying lenses for visually impaired children, hearing aids for hearing impaired, audiovisual aids for mentally challenged children. Physical activity should be designed according to the needs of various children. Various co-curricular activities should also be organized to make the learning more joyful. Transportation for students. For example, low-floor buses that are accessible to wheelchairs. Therapy. Speech therapist improves overall communication, enhances social skills, and enables children to cope up better with the society and function in day-to-day life. It involves exercises of lip and facial muscles, teaching gestural communication, conceptual language, and functional language. Physical and occupational therapy. It helps children to carry activities of daily life such as self-care skills, social interaction, use of equipments like wheelchair and special cutlery. Regular counseling of parents is must to enhance the learning of children. They are taught various skills to follow with children at home. And at last, medical facilities. Now let us discuss what do we mean by disability and the different types of impairment that affects children's development. According to WHO, disability is an umbrella term that covers impairments, limitations in activity, and restrictions in participation. Classification of disabilities. Disabilities can be mainly classified into 7 categories, but according to the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016, 21 disabilities have been covered under this. Now let's study some common disabilities. Intellectual impairment. The brain does not develop properly. Person lacks skills necessary for day-to-day living like talking to others, taking care of oneself, etc. A person is considered intellectually disabled if he or she has an IQ of less than 70. Visual impairment. It includes both partial and total blindness. Hearing impairment, partial hearing loss or deafness. Cerebral palsy. In this, brain, the part of the brain that controls our activities is affected, because of which a normal child is not able to move his muscles. यह ज़्यादातर जन्म से पहले चोट लगने के कारण होता है. ऑटिज्म. ऑटिज्म एक मानसिक बीमारी है जिसमें बच्चे अपनी बात ठीक से कह नहीं पाते और ना ही दूसरों की बात समझ पाते हैं. Locomotor disabilities. Difficulties in locomotion due to damage to bones, joints, and muscles. Learning disabilities. Difficulties in writing, reading, and arithmetic. For example, not able to pronounce some words properly, spelling errors, poor handwritings, difficulty in recognizing numbers and alphabets. Causes of disabilities. Briefly, the causes can be grouped under 3 categories. Number 1, factors that affect before birth. They can be both genetic and non-genetic. For example, deficiency of any nutrient during the prenatal stage. Deficiency of iodine can lead to mental retardation, which is irreparable. Infectious diseases like measles, AIDS during pregnancy. injury of mother's womb during any accident, or mutation of parents' genes. Number 2. Factors that affect the child at birth or soon after birth. Lack of oxygen supply at the time of delivery affects brain or any other body part. Injury by delivery equipments like forceps. Number 3. Factors that impact on the child during the development period. For example, accidents, infectious diseases like polio, malnutrition, carelessness, lack of interest by parents. Now let's study some specific education methods and procedures that are followed in special education to enable the special educator to teach children with special education needs systematically. First, an assessment of child or student's level in different areas of development and learning is undertaken. For example, concepts in maths, language development, or social skills. Based on this assessment report, Individualized Education Program (IEP) is developed for each student. Regular evaluation of IEP is undertaken to determine whether the goals are being met and to check the progress of the student. Along with this, it is ensured the access and use of support services to each child at the time required. Let us see what kind of knowledge and skills are required of personnel in special education. Understanding one's beliefs and attitudes to disability. Based on our experiences and environment, we construct certain social beliefs. For example, we may have a belief that children with disability are less able and are not supposed to enjoy equal rights. We should overcome such beliefs and develop positive attitudes. Next is developing sensitivity. Special educators are expected to be sensitive towards children with disabilities. Gestures and language used should convey love and respect to the children. They should not show the attitude of sympathy or charity towards them. Knowledge about disabilities. Special educators must have thorough knowledge about different kinds of disabilities. For example, a child with cerebral palsy may have some degree of intellectual impairment but still capable of doing many things. Interpersonal skills. Special educator must acquire good communication skills to guide and counsel children as well as parents effectively. Pedagogical skills. The special educator should be able to teach a particular subject such as science, social science, or maths. The educator must know how to break up and simplify the concepts and lessons. There is a wide scope in this field. One can start the career as early childhood special educator. With a few years experience, one can work as head of special education programs at schools, a manager of special schools. Special education, special educators and trainers are also required in NGOs that follow SSA guidelines. One can also become an entrepreneur by opening special education schools or counseling centers for parents. Students, being enlightened citizens of the country, we must keep a positive outlook and open mind for all children. We must ensure them that they are loved, accepted, and valued just the way they are. We all have heard about Stephen Hawking, Helen Keller, Arunima Sinha, and many others who did not let the disability come in their way. Thanks for watching my video. Please don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe my channel.